My name is Elena, and 5 hours ago I was standing in the bridal suite, pinning a $400 silk veil onto my younger sister Sophia's hair. She looked like an angel. She looked me in the eyes and told me I was the best sister in the world for stepping up when our family needed it most. But right now, I'm standing at the microphone in front of 200 guests. I'm looking at my father, who is currently wiping a joyful tear from his eye, and I'm looking at the groom, a man who thinks his new father-in-law is a hero for funding this $120,000 fairy tale wedding. They think I'm here to give a toast. They think I'm here to talk about childhood memories. They're wrong. I'm here to perform an audit. Let me take you back 3 years. It was a Tuesday night in October when my father, David, called me. His voice was shaking. He told me he'd been diagnosed with an aggressive form of stage 3 blood cancer. He didn't have the insurance. The treatments he needed were $4,000 a month out of pocket. I was 29 years old. I had $60,000 saved for a down payment on my first house. I had a fiancé, Mark. We were 3 months away from our own wedding. My father sat me down in his small, dimly lit kitchen. He looked so frail. He took my hand and said, "Elena, Sophia is still in grad school. She has nothing. You're the successful one. You're the one who can save me." So I did what a good daughter does. I took that $60,000 house fund and I handed it over. For 3 years, I worked 14-hour days. I lived in a studio apartment with a leaky ceiling. I ate oatmeal for dinner 3 nights a week. When my fiancé realized I was never going to stop sending my entire paycheck to my father, he left. Voice cracked slightly. He told me he couldn't marry someone who was married to her father's debt. Total investment over 36 months, $144,000, plus my savings, over $200,000 of my life, gone. But then, this morning, I saw it, an invoice from the Mercy Oncology Center. The total was $0. My father wasn't paying for experimental treatments. He had been on a standard, fully covered Medicare plan for 2 years. His cancer had been in remission since month 6. Then I saw the other folder, Sophia's wedding fund. Every single deposit was for exactly $4,000. Short laugh, disbelief. The money I had been working 80 hours a week for wasn't going to a pharmacy. It was going into a high-yield savings account for my sister's wedding. "Good evening, everyone," I said into the mic. My voice was as cold as the ice in my hand. I'd like to talk about sacrifice, specifically the sacrifice of $204,000. I looked directly at Sophia. She was turning a shade of white that matched her dress. I found out this morning that this beautiful wedding, the Ritz, the lobster, the band, it wasn't paid for by savings. It was paid for by my freelance bookkeeping jobs. It was paid for by the house I'll never own and the marriage I'll never have. My father stood up. "Elena, that's enough. You're drunk. Sit down." "I'm not drunk, Dad," I said. "I'm just finishing the books." I walked out of that ballroom and I didn't look back. The silence in that room was the most expensive thing I've ever bought. I'm 33 now. I have a new savings account. It only has $5,000 in it, but every single cent belongs to me. What would you have done? Would you have stayed silent for the fairy tale? Or would you have demanded your life back? Justice is recalled?